Can we just take a moment to talk about monoculture agriculture? Now, I'm not going to be some out of touch, utopian daydream, preachy, guy who doesn't know what's going on in the real world kind of person, right? And keep it down to earth. I understand. There's a lot of people on this planet, and they need a lot of food. And you're not going to get all that food without mass production on some level for at least your basic stuffs. Rice, corn, meat, specifically chickens. I would prefer not cattle, at least not in America. I think we should all have buffalo, but that's another rambler. We're not gonna get okay. One ranting at a time. Here's the problem. Let's say you got your European honeybee, right? The European honeybee. Oh, they're so cute and fuzzy and docile that even if they do sting you, it kills them. So it's like, really, you're not even losing when they sting you. The European honeybee. Oh, wrong. The European honeybee. You know the whole like save the bees and like we gotta keep the bees alive. No, European honeybees need to die, at least on this continent. They can go back to Europe for all I care. Here's the problem, and this is a problem with a lot of agriculture. Your domestic agriculturalized bees are in this cozy environment where they're weighted on hand and foot by your apiarists. It's a fun word to say, by the way, apiarists. Now, they have constant supplies of water. They get doused with anti-lice powder, delousing powder, you could call it. They get fungal supplements, like a mushroom extract. They get all the benefits in the world that the modern world has to offer. And here's the problem. That makes them able to survive horrific colony-destroying diseases like nosema, right? There are some nasty diseases in bee colonies, but they're able to survive it because we care for them so well. And here's the problem. The bees do not exist in isolation. They're not contained to the farm. They're going miles out and back, and they're spreading these diseases to wild bee populations. And the wild bee populations don't have all the benefits and comforts that the modern world has to offer. They're just out there in the wild struggling to survive. They're lucky if they find water some days. And here comes this, European honeybee with all its diseases, smallpox blanket style, and just annihilates the native population. It's horrible. And this is the same thing that happens with trees, because we were talking about spoon tree being the last spoon tree, right? Rubber trees, cork trees. You say, oh, this cork tree has such valuable wood. We will grow 1,000 billion, cork trees and harvest them all. Well, that's great. But you put it in a monoculture, and then they just have this monoculture, and then these bacteria and fungi are allowed to just, in grand isolation of their host, evolve to astronomical strength and adaptations, and even like insect pests, like a longhorned burrowing beetle, or bark beetles, or all these other things, right? They just get this huge field of their host plants, and they have all the resources in the world to evolve as much as possible, as quickly as possible, and breed as much as possible. And so these diseases and these pests get supercharged on these agricultural monocultures, and then they go out into the wild, and they're like, I got this tree dead, blah! I got that tree dead, blah! And it's just taking trees out left and right. And even though, like, farmers can make it work, because they have all the comforts of the modern world, the trees in the wild have no chance. So there's this horrific trend of modern agriculture where we do this monoculture, and we, instead of like curing and fixing diseases, we just mitigate symptoms. And then the diseases super evolve and destroy the native populations of whatever it is that they're targeting. And it's all bad. So stop it. Stop it. I understand there's a need for some of it, but stop it.